How's it going, everybody? My name is Andrew Bond, and this channel is called Out of the Box. And on my channel, I like to do thoughtful product reviews to inform consumers so that they can make educated and confident buying decisions. Today on the channel, we're going to be taking a look at the DJI Mavic Mini drone. I'm going to go ahead and do a full review, show you guys what it comes with, talk about the specs and features, and then we're going to go ahead and take it to the air, do a flight test, and all of that good stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. So the Mavic Mini costs $399, but for about $100 more, you can get what's called the Fly More combo, which is going to provide a tremendous amount of value in terms of the extra accessories included. First off, this kit is going to come with a drone remote controller. This controller is featured with two external antennas, as well as removable joysticks that are designed to simply unscrew and then store within the body of the controller for safe and easy transportation. Now, you will notice that there is no screen on the controller. However, the bottom side of the controller does fold out to give you a snug and secure spot to connect your smartphone and use that as your screen. This controller is also featured with two trigger buttons on the top, and one's going to allow you to simply trigger the video functionality, and the other will snap photos for you. Other than that, we do have a return to home button, which is going to be featured above the left joystick, and a power button, which is featured above the right joystick. They're all very easy to grab, easy to touch, and easy to press without moving your hands at all. You will also notice that there are LED indicators which are going to help you monitor your battery life levels, as well as notify you if you have powered the controller on or off correctly. As a part of the Fly More combo, we will receive 3 drone batteries as well as a 2-way charging hub. These batteries do click into place for safe and secure storage as well as easy transportation. And when you insert the battery into the hub, the LED light indicators will inform you of the remaining life for that individual battery. The design of the hub is very thoughtful as it is clever, and it's extremely easy to store and transport, which is really nice, especially with this compact drone. As stated before, I love the fact that it does have that 2-way charging capability, and it just makes it all that much more useful. Now, the hub can be charged by simply plugging it into a wall outlet, and your DJI Mavic Mini batteries will all be charged one after the next. This battery pack is compatible with 18-watt fast charging, and the Mavic Mini batteries will last up to 30 minutes of continuous flight on any single charge. This obviously is going to vary depending on how hard you fly the drone, as well as what the weather conditions are like. So taking a look at a few of the cables that this kit comes with, we are going to receive 2 USB cables, as well as a few different cell phone dongle adapters, and this would include a lightning adapter, a micro USB adapter, and last but not least, a USB-C adapter. We also receive a few pairs of backup propellers, which come in handy. God forbid anything ever happens to the drone. We're also going to have a mini screwdriver, which conveniently stores within the really nice provided hard shell carrying case. That way, if you have an accident while flying and you're on the go, you can get your drone back up and running in a pinch. And if all else fails and you are a newer pilot, this kit will also include a propeller guard. That way you can fly your drone safely and limit any damage to the propellers or other parts of your drone. Last but not least, we do have the DJI Mavic Mini drone itself. Now, this drone is intentionally made from lightweight and compact materials, and to prepare this drone for flight, all we're going to have to do is simply flip both of the front arms forward, one after the other, and then the back propeller arms do swing down and out from underneath the body of the drone. One of the first hardware features that you're going to notice on the exterior of this drone is that Mavic Mini gimbal style camera, and that's located directly underneath the nose of the drone. Now, don't let the size fool you, because this impressive camera, believe it or not, is capable of up to 2.7K resolution, and you can choose between 25 or 30 frames per second, as well as an impressive 12 megapixel camera. There are also other video variables as well. You can go with 1920 by 1080p at either 25, 30, 50, or even 60 frames per second. Now, the gimbal does have a cover over it, and just so you guys know, this does need to be removed prior to flight. Do not fly with this on, as it is just for protection during transportation, not while flying. Now, just for a reference point here, for those of you who have not interacted with this drone in person, I have featured my iPhone 11 Pro sitting directly on top of the drone, and they're relatively the same size. Keep in mind that the drone is a bit thicker than my cell phone, but overall the drone could still fit in my pocket, so that just kind of gives you a sense of how small this thing actually is. Not only that, as advertised on the side of this thing, it's extremely lightweight and it comes in at a mere 249 grams. One thing to note is that since this drone is under that 250 grams, it's not going to have to be registered, which is really nice. However, I think it's important to understand that just because you don't have to register this drone does not mean you don't have to follow all the rules and guidelines for your particular area. And depending on which country you're in, you're going to want to Google that, look those up, and make sure that you're within compliance. That way you don't hurt yourself, your drone, or other people. Now, as we flip this drone over and look at the belly, we are going to notice two downward facing sensors. Now, these sensors are used for vision and positioning, and they are going to help with landing and taking off. And as you can see here, when I stick my hand underneath the drone when it's mid-flight, it is going to try to avoid the obstacle that's directly underneath it. One thing to note is that there is no internal memory inside the DJI Mavic Mini, but instead it does have a micro SD card slot. So go ahead and pick up a micro SD card, pop that in the drone, and you'll be all good to go. Next up, let's talk about the DJI Fly app, as well as how to get this drone and the controller hooked up, connected, turned on, and outdoors for your first flight. Now, once we're there, we're going to be able to connect our aircraft, and the way that we're going to do this, we're going to have to take our hardware out. So go ahead and take your controller out, swing open those arms out of the bottom, screw in the joysticks, and then plug in your smartphone. Remember, you are going to have that extra dongle attachments depending on what type of smartphone that you have. In order to turn on the flight controller, you're going to simply press the power button once and release, and then you're going to hold it down after that, and then you'll see the LED light indicators go from left to right, notifying that you turned it on. The drone is going to be the exact same thing. You're going to click it once on the bottom power button, and then you're going to press and hold again for a few seconds and watch those LED light indicators go from left to right, notifying that you did turn the drone on correctly. And then you should be on, ready to go, and ready to take your first flight. Let's go ahead and run through the DJI Fly app. That way you guys can see some of these awesome features that are included. Starting on the top left corner, you're going to see mode, and there's 3 different flight modes. That's going to be Cine Smooth, Sport, and Position. Now, Position mode is going to just kind of be your normal mode. Sport mode's if you want to go fast, and then Cine Smooth is obviously going to be if you're trying to get those cinematic B-roll shots and you want to, get a nice landscape. So you can go ahead and toggle those modes by simply pressing the mode up in the top left corner. Now, if we move our eyes down a little bit, again, on the left side of the screen, you are going to see a circle with an arrow going up. This is your takeoff button. In order to take off, very simple, make sure you're ready for it. You're going to tap that button, and once you do that, you're going to receive a pop-up that shows you a takeoff button that's a lot bigger in the middle of your screen. You'll simply press and hold that down. Your drone will do the rest, and it will take off. It's going to hover up a few feet above the ground, and it's going to wait for you to control it. Moving over to the left, we do have a camera and video toggle button. To do that, you simply press it. We would be in video mode there, or back in camera mode there. And then to simply take a picture, you're going to hit the button in the middle on the right side. That will snap a picture. Or you can switch to video, and again, you would just hit that red button and you would start recording. Now you will see a little play button underneath the record button, and if you press that, that's simply going to show you all of your pictures and videos that you've already played. And from there, you can actually go ahead and download your pictures and videos directly to the smartphone attached to the drone controller, which is really nice. Now in the top right corner, you are going to see 3 dots, and this is going to let you toggle a lot of different controls between safety, control, the camera, transmission, and then there's an about section as well. You can check for firmware updates, fly database, all sorts of different stuff there. But yeah, it's a very useful app, very simple to use, and it's really user-friendly, like I was saying. Now that we've briefly gone over the DJI Fly app as well as the basic controls of this drone, let's go ahead and show you guys some test shots, and then I'll explain a little bit more about filming as well as what I was able to achieve with this drone.
as days passes by, and most long for a place that they never find. I'm afraid I wake up when I die, and it is too late to climb any mountain. Time is of the essence, the blood running through our core. It's best to not feel sorry when it's over. I will be the greatest that you've ever seen before, and I'll stay eternal. My luck's run out. When things don't go to plan, I kinda lose my mind. I hope it's real, this life comes around. Just keep your faith and search for the fountain.
Now, one of the things that I really love about the DJI Mavic Mini is that it's extremely user-friendly and it's easy to fly. Even for somebody who is a new drone pilot, just getting into it as a hobby, the drone is not intimidating whatsoever. It's very responsive, very quick, very easy, and with the different modes, you can even slow it down if you're really nervous about flying for the first time. But if you're really looking to get those cinematic B-roll shots, DJI really makes it easy and convenient to do so. In fact, I was even able to film myself effortlessly utilizing the DJI quick shots. Now we are going to have 4 different quick shots, and those names are going to be the Rocket, the Droney, the Circle, and the Helix. Now, in order to do these, you are going to need your drone up in flight. You're going to go ahead and hit either the camera or the video button. A screen is going to pop up and you're going to be able to pick between video, camera, or quick shots. And once you pick the quick shots, they're going to give you a little demo of what each quick shot does. You'll go ahead and select it. Then you get to go ahead and select how many meters up in the air you want that quick shot to go. And then you simply just press start and the drone's going to do all the work for you. You're going to have extremely smooth and amazing B-roll shots, and you can even get in them yourself if you're hiking or riding your bike or whatever you're doing. So that is really cool. Yet another incredible feature that the DJI team has implemented into the app. Let's say, and I don't recommend this, but let's say that you flew your drone far enough away, it was out of line of sight, which is a big no-no, and you got turned around and you just couldn't find where this thing is. Well, there are safety override protocols that do take place, and what's going to end up happening is the drone controller will warn you, letting you know, bring that drone back to you immediately, or else the override will happen. And if that override does happen, it's going to skyrocket all the way up into the air, just making sure that you have enough clearance to get past the trees or rocks or anything that's near you. And then it's going to beeline straight back to your location, and it's going to hover right above the spot where you took off. So there is those fail-safe protocols, which I applaud DJI for heavily. Now, I want to talk about some of the limitations to the DJI Mavic Mini. Obviously, it is a smaller size drone, but with any piece of hardware or technology, there's got to be certain limitations, whether that's weather, whether that's wind, whether, just different elements, things like that. And this is an outdoor piece of technology. So from my experience, what I notice is in above about 20 miles an hour of wind, this thing is going to severely struggle, and I probably wouldn't even recommend that you try it at all. Not only that, I was flying it in the desert climate, and it was over 100 degrees in temperature, and because of that, the drone sensor for the camera was actually telling me it was overheating, and I was only flying it for maybe 30 to 45 seconds before that even happened. So in my case, I actually had to end up flying this thing at 7 o'clock at night, 15 minutes before sunset, and that was just so I could get into the 90-degree range. That way it would be cool enough to fly this drone under those conditions. With that all in mind, mind, I think that this drone is an insane value. I think if you're on the fence about this, I hope this video pushes you off. I'm no way affiliated or sponsored by DJI. However, I am just so impressed, and I had a blast using this drone for the past month, really getting to know it. And as a newer drone pilot, I couldn't recommend it any higher. And especially for the price point, you're going to get so much out of this thing, and you don't have to spend a fortune to do it. All right, guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you have any questions that I didn't happen to cover in the video, just drop them down in the comment section below. I'll get to them as fast as humanly possible. And if you did make it this far in the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. That would greatly help me grow, and I would really appreciate that. If you guys have any recommendations or anything you want to see next on the channel for me to review, let me know as well. But until I see you guys on the next video, we out.